Do you often feel overwhelmed by your emotions, unable to control your reactions, or get stuck in patterns of chronic anxiety and stress? If so, you may be dealing with emotional dysregulation. Hi, I'm Ava Work. I'm an energy healer and intuitive coach. Welcome to my channel where I help you heal from your past, get unstuck, and live as your highest self. In this video, I'm talking about emotional dysregulation, what it looks like, how it can impact your life, and what you can do to overcome it and take control of your emotions. Let's start by understanding, what do we mean by emotional dysregulation? It's when you're having difficulty managing your emotional responses, which can lead to intense and inappropriate reactions to certain situations, people, or events. Emotional dysregulation stems from traumatic experiences, especially from childhood, that can leave a lasting imprint on your emotional well-being and your ability to regulate your emotions. And it's also negatively impacted by chronic stress and anxiety. It just keeps your nervous system in a heightened state of alert. Emotional dysregulation can look like frequent mood swings where your emotions just change rapidly and unpredictably. It can look like intense anger or frustration that feels overwhelming and uncontrollable. It can look like anxiety or panic attacks that make you feel paralyzed by fear or worry. Maybe you have difficulty calming down after being upset, leaving you feeling emotionally drained. And it can look like feeling overwhelmed by your emotions to the point where you just can't function or focus properly. And emotional dysregulation doesn't just affect your mood, it can impact all areas of your life. It could strain your relationships, causing conflicts and misunderstandings because your emotional reactions just are unpredictable and intense. It can impact your performance at work or school, making it hard to concentrate, meet deadlines, or work effectively with others. It can lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms like overeating or binge drinking on alcohol to try to manage or numb your overwhelming emotions. And it can cause physical health issues due to chronic stress on the body, like headaches, digestive problems, and a weakened immune system. So, for all these reasons, emotional dysregulation can be a destructive pattern that drives your emotions and creates stress and negative impacts on your life. And while there are several methods available to help you regulate your emotions, the one that I found most effective by far for me and those that I've worked with is a proven energy healing technique known as the emotion code, body code, and belief code, developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. The emotion code, which is level 1 of this modality, helps you quickly find and release trapped emotions from unresolved traumas and challenging events that result in issues with regulating your emotions. And I highly recommend using the emotion code method to find and release trapped emotions around your specific emotional triggers, since emotional triggers are your doorway to those unresolved wounds inside of you. And when you become triggered, it's because there are unresolved wounds that just get reactivated, which leads to this emotional dysregulation. Once you become aware of your emotional triggers, like when you feel criticized or made to feel unimportant, or you fear rejection, or maybe you feel unsupported or feel out of control, you take that specific trigger and using the emotion code technique, you can identify the specific stuck emotions around that trigger and then release it energetically. Finding and releasing trapped emotions with the emotion code technique is something that you can learn to do on your own, or you can decide to work with a trained practitioner. I have added a link to the emotion code book below where you can learn all about this method and how to do it yourself. I also have an intro guidebook on the emotion code, which you could check out on the free resource section of my website that I'm also going to link below. And I did a previous video on how to release stuck emotions where I do go deeper on this topic. So if you find that after releasing a bunch of trapped emotions, you're still getting emotionally triggered by the same trigger that you worked on, say it's fear of rejection, the reason that can happen is because there are deeper layers connected to these unresolved wounds, like limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns. And if this is you, then level 2 body code and level 3 belief code of this method would be recommended for finding and releasing these limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that are at the root of your triggers. And while body code and belief code are not methods you can learn to do on your own with a book like you can with the emotion code, you can work with a certified practitioner or invest in getting trained to do it yourself. And in my experience, when working extensively on healing triggers for myself and others, The energetic release of limiting beliefs and thoughts, specifically around the topic of self worth and safety, can have a big impact on being able to more effectively regulate your emotions. And that's because at the root of a lot of these unresolved wounds are beliefs of not being worthy and safe. And this is why I recommend that you work on your triggers at a deeper level. If you do realize that you're still dealing with emotional dysregulation after removing several trapped emotions around this issue. Let me share two powerful examples to illustrate this. First, let's look at self-worth. Sarah has been struggling with severe emotional dysregulation for years. She experiences frequent mood swings, intense anger, and debilitating anxiety that affects her relationships and her work life. Sarah's triggers are fear of criticism and feeling unsupported. She had actually grown up in an environment where she constantly felt criticized and unsupported, leading to a core belief that she was unworthy of love and respect. And whenever she faced criticism at work or felt unappreciated by her partner, it would trigger these unresolved wounds, causing her to react with this intense anger and frustration. But by focusing on these deeper layers, we can use the body code and belief code techniques to further identify and energetically release the specific limiting beliefs and negative thoughts around her self-worth. By clearing these energetic imbalances in the form of beliefs and thoughts, she raises her self-worth and is no longer triggered by a similar situation or event. So now let's consider another scenario around safety. John struggled with chronic anxiety and panic attacks for years. His emotional dysregulation stemmed from a deep-seated belief that he was never truly safe. Growing up in a really volatile household, John learned to always be on high alert, which left him with a constant sense of fear and insecurity. And whenever John encountered situations that felt unpredictable or beyond his control, it would trigger these unresolved wounds, leading to intense anxiety and panic. And even minor changes in his routine or unexpected events at work would set off a spiral of fear and anxiety. But by addressing and healing the root cause of his trigger of feeling out of control or feeling anxious in these unpredictable situations, which was linked to limiting beliefs around not feeling safe or feeling out of control, he shifts his belief to feeling safe now in his body. And these similar situations are no longer triggering for him. So if you find that you're still dealing with emotional dysregulation after releasing several stuck emotions around your triggers, I do recommend you work on the limiting beliefs or any negative thought patterns that are also at the root of your triggers. I have found that just by working on self-worth and safety beliefs alone, it indirectly had a positive impact on my triggers, even if I didn't work on the triggers directly. This deeper level of healing can make a significant impact on your emotional well-being and every aspect of your life. So thank you for watching. Let me know if this video resonated with you in the comments below. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for even more content like this to help you heal, get unstuck, and live as your highest self.